over, did it feel like, because I'm guessing when you first did it, were you able to replace your salary completely? No, right? That's
No.
my friend. It's taken her 3 years to replace her salary that she made before, but she's doing good now. And so, yeah.
I think that working as an engineer and going through that, getting my degree really helped me think like an engineer, obviously. So I approached it with that engineering approach of like, how can I take this thing that I really want to do and create systems and processes for me to make it financially so I could pay for my bills? Essentially, that was my goal, was like, can I just cover my bills at that point in time? And what I wanted to do was reach as many people as possible. So I partnered up with a software engineer and we decided to build a whole platform of how can I really systemize delivering the content, teaching people how to lift, providing educational content, and then also the meal planning, which is the most important part whenever people are trying to get in shape, is figuring out what to eat. So we developed a whole algorithm and a whole platform to be able to serve thousands of clients at a time. And it took months of planning. I wasn't making any money. I was just kind of siphoning away all my savings. And what's really interesting is that first week, whenever we launched our very first program and very first offer, I made more in a week than I made in a year as an engineer. And that was the moment for me that I was like, wow, this is very possible for me to continue to pursue. And obviously that's my experience, but it takes that level of planning and really having an approach that is, risk averse. I'm not suggesting for anybody to go quit their job. I think that having a plan of action and having a timeline makes the most sense for you to not put yourself in a compromising position. So that's the way that I did it. And it's panned out very, very well because it's given me the space to still work with so many people and still get to do what I love and not be so focused on in the business, just working in the business, if that makes sense.
And it also shows that a lot of our experiences are not wasted. Like,
no.
First of all, growing up in a spiritual community made you vegetarian, made you have ahimsa, made you appreciate life forms. Like, that's a useful experience, even if at that time you felt alone and disconnected from the people you were around. Then you go off and you study engineering, which again, you're like, I don't want to be an engineer, but your engineering skills are the ones that you use to launch your passion.
Yeah.
And then it's like you discover what you love doing, which is working out. And now what you do is mixing compassion, working out, and engineering. And I love that idea that encouraging people to collect passions and curate their passion. And that's how you create your passion, is that you're constantly collecting experiences and then you're bringing them together rather than like, I found this one thing and everything before this was a waste of time. And even in my journey, I feel the same way. It's like, I loved art and design growing up, which has massively impacted my career today because I look at everything through the lens of art and design. And then I was fortunately great at economics and good at understanding business and then behavioral science. And that's obviously been very useful in my life today. And then obviously I fell in love with philosophy and I fell in love with teaching and I fell in love with mentorship and I fell in love with the wisdom that I learned from the monks. And now my life is all three of those things put together. And I wouldn't trade any of those experiences. So if anyone's in a